Hey traders, Nick Shaheen here looking at Roku. I think I haven't done a video in a while on Roku. Maybe it's the cornholes that keep getting a bug up their butt every time I say something about it. So let's get the disclosure out there. If you're in love with the stock and it upsets you to even anybody mention a potential downside, don't watch this video. Turn it off now. Anyway, it's a great stock to trade. And I emphasize trade because it is very active and it offers a lot of trading opportunities. It looks like it's crazy, but if you just apply basic technicals, you can find yourself not blindsided by the potential. Clearly, this is an emotional stock. I know that firsthand. I don't have any positions on it. I have shorted it before successfully, and I've gone long it more than short. And right here, I'm not compelled to buy it, and I think it has some support. So it depends on your time frame speed. There's almost nothing to do except write out whatever you have on it. What do I favor? If you believe in the stock long term, that it's going to be like Netflix or something like that, then just buy it and don't worry about any of these videos or what happens today and tomorrow. If you're actively trading it, you first have to determine your time frame. Long-term trader, like a swing trader or source, where you buy it on big dips and you wait for a big rally, or you short it on after big rallies, thinking okay it's done. So pick your time frame. If you're more active than this, then these comments are for you. I'll zoom out at the end to make bold, broader comments on longer-term swings, but right here we're looking at a 2-hour chart, and I'm watching the S&P pre-open on 9/18 moving. So the idea is that it's not, the moves are not foreseen. They are. So I'm going to show you my drawings, and I usually draw lines, and I don't predict which way the stock is going to go. Anybody that can tell you that either is a genius and is like the best kept secret on Wall Street, or just flat out lying. And but what I can tell you, that if line A is breached, then I can tell you what's going to happen thereafter. So I usually, at any point in time, like right here, I'll tell you, I'll draw a couple of lines. I'll say, if this happens, then this will happen. If that happens, then this will happen, type of a deal. And I usually draw them and I leave them on for a while. So I look back and see if they come back into play. So here are my lines. I know there are a lot of lines, but they build over time. And I'll show you what. I drew these lines right here today, just now, 5 minutes ago. All right, so let's go back to here. I didn't know which way this consolidation was going to play out. I knew that it was toppy around here, and if that was breached, it was going to go up to here in 2 legs. It got to the first leg, and then it failed. And it came back to the bottom end of the range. So this candle right here, you can't see it. This candle, I pointed out, I bet you I pointed it out in other videos. It's super important. Look at the range of it, and look how long it lasted. This range stayed in play for this whole time. So back to the lines, and I drew a box around it after the fact to show it, because in one of the videos I saw it and I was like, wait a minute, what the hell is this? So, and then the higher low trend, I said, could fall apart, but could have some down days, but it shouldn't fall apart. That's why I drew it in a zigzag, kind of like a flat zigzag. And look how true that was. And basically, they consolidated. What does that mean? They spent a long time buying and selling, testing limits, and nobody getting the edge, until finally here, it was tight. Something was going to happen. I didn't know if it was going to break down or break out. Well, it broke out, and then I didn't watch it for a while, and it took off. And it came back to where? The neckline from which they broke out, to a penny almost. And then now they're using it as footing. So there's your trigger to buy the dip on the way down. Support zone, see that? So if it falls down to here and you want to play this again, you buy the dip with a tight stop. What's the tight stop? If this is breached, then that thesis is gone. But you know that it's got a lot of support down here. That's why I drew a support zone. So it all depends on your time frame. Period. End of story. And now we have higher lows. You can argue we have lower highs. So it's coming into a point and something is going to happen. These candles are going to be the triggers up, but they are also the problem. So if it's rising here and you want to short it for a trade into this, you can with a tight stop. So as soon as it goes above that, then your thesis is wrong and then you bail. But some people will say this is also shortable, and they'd be right. That's why I put this right there. So even if they breach, they're going to face a lot of resistance right here and fade and try to finish the job. Same comments over here. Trigger, resistance and trigger, resistance and trigger. So resistance until it's no longer resistance, then it triggers buyers. And this one will be open space. Buy the dip is an easier task than short the rallies in a bull market, which is amazing that I'm saying bull market with such shitty economic conditions. All right, so the best pivot here that I see is right there. So if I were to buy the dip blindly, I'd probably do it here. And this is a big support zone. Let's see how big it is. So it's been consolidated on several events. So all right, let's center this. Take the drawings out. Go to 1 day. Go to 1 week. I'm trying to get the big picture. Do I have any big picture drawings on there? Big head and shoulders that played out. Alright, these are the support zones I showed you. So it is well consolidated support zone. It's bankable. So if I were to say anything, it'll be this one right here is a major flip, and this is a major candle. So you know, I'm not going to even say the number, but let's say the markets crash, not Roku. Roku doesn't crash ever. It's a beautiful stock that's going to go up forever. Let's say the markets crash, like crash for Black Swan event, I don't know, nuclear war, okay? This will be the best pivot zone, but there are plenty of other ones. Like this candle right here sticks out. It's a weekly candle, so for it to be a doji this tight is significant. Oh, look at that. It's this one right there. So 100, okay, it's a century mark. 101. This one sticks out to my eye, 110 and change. So you have a lot of lines to pick for the long term. So a stock that looks like this, to me, this is not an obvious entry point. This is an important weekly candle. Where is that? 160. It's good that they're above it. Let's see how they close today. Quad witching day. This is an important candle. So I buy the dips into 147 zone. Do we have anything there? Yeah. Buy the dip opportunity right there. Anyway, so pick your time frame before you trade it. Fundamentals, I don't know. Let's see here. I haven't looked at it for a while. So 17 times its sales, given what I'm seeing from other companies now, like Zoom, Shopify, and all of that, it's a bargain. It's about double Facebook and such, so it's not that bad. I'm concerned. I'm always concerned. Why is it not turning a profit? I don't want it to be cheap. Trust me. I say Amazon is cheap with 170 PE, but they need to turn a profit. Amazon showed us they can turn a profit like a few years ago, and that shut everybody up. If they turn a profit, it would shut me up, like a good profit, a legitimate profit about that, because they've been in business for a long time and they still haven't figured out how to make a profit. Now they have all the aces. The everybody streams. I don't think I've watched anything static like from old style cable in, I don't know, over 2 years maybe, and it's all everybody stream. Everybody wants to stream. That's the way we want to consume media. So they have the field, and where I have the cursor right here is a good pivot. I like this. I like these. So as long as markets don't collapse, if the bulls get an opportunity on a dip anywhere in this region, it's a buyable dip. We can visually see it. So if somebody likes Fibonacci and they want to split that extension and get the 50%, eyeball is probably down here. The 61.8 is somewhere here. So it's a buyable dip to anywhere here. I'm not calling for it to fall 20%, God forbid, but what is this before I say 20? 13, 14, 10 to 13%. But if it does happen, the markets are pretty high, but if it does happen, it's a buyable dip. So the easier bet is upside. How do I do this? Personally, I like to sell put spreads. If you want to own the shares, sell puts, and hopefully it'll fall into your puts and put the stock at a cheaper price and get paid for it. So it's not always one way to trade something. All right, I think I've said enough about this. technically it's a good stock to trade because it's so active. So if, let's say if you are an active trader, this is a 5 minute chart, plenty of, like this right there is a tradable breakout on an intraday basis. I don't know what it's doing this morning. So it's up a little bit at 165 and change. So okay, so that already triggered. So now you're already here. So now you've got a gap, but you got a problem. So let's see how they do that. And this is kind of the problem. So this is one of those gaps that get filled backwards kind of a deal where they, anyway, it's been traded before. So in fact, it is the point of control. That's pretty interesting. All right, so point of control is, this is the point where for this period of time from September 15th on, 14th on, this is the point where they bought it and sold it the most. So if you come into it, it's going to be resistance. So this line here is going to be hard to beat. So if they fill the gap, I would fade it for a trade. I would try to fade this one for a trade. Okay, let's put it this way. If it's here already, it's not an opportunity to start longs for the gap. Wait until they get into it to see if you can scalp that. Because if you're not in it and you're at here and you're looking to buy it, you're buying at resistance. My opinion, not fact. Okay. Anyway, that's little longer time frame, gives you an idea. So again, for this period of time, even longer, this is still a tough zone. Nick signing out.